Hello, welcome to William's English Lessons. Are you ready? Let's start. William Mills Wrigley Jr. was an American chewing gum magnate. He was born in Philadelphia in 1861. His father owned a soap factory. Wrigley moved to Chicago at the age of 29 to sell soap for his father's company. He came there with just $32 in his pocket and a dream of running his own business. Wrigley used his skills as a salesman and entrepreneur and began offering baking powder along with his father's soap. As an incentive, Wrigley offered 2 free packs of chewing gum from the Zeno Manufacturing Company with each can of baking powder. At the time, there were more than a dozen chewing gum companies in the United States, but the industry was relatively undeveloped. Wrigley's idea of offering the gum as an incentive was such a success that he was able, just 1 year later, in 1893, to introduce his own brands, Lotta and Vassar. Soon, Juicy Fruit and Wrigley's Spearmint made their debuts, and by 1911, Wrigley's Spearmint was the leading gum in the United States. A gifted salesman, Wrigley built personal relationships with his customers and accommodated their needs. As the company grew, he developed a knack for inspiring enthusiasm in those who worked for him. Struggling for a foothold in the chewing gum category, Wrigley always applied his basic business principle. Even in a little thing like a stick of gum, quality is important. While his gum sold for only 5 cents a pack, profits were enormous, growing from $8.5 million in 1921 to $12.2 million in 1930. Wrigley was a noted pioneer in the use of advertising to promote branded merchandise, utilizing newspapers, posters, and magazines. He correctly identified that increasing brand recognition would build demand, and he spent more than $100 million in advertising, which made him the largest single product advertiser of the day. Wrigley's empire grew to include real estate, mining, hotels, and railroads. In 1915, Wrigley invested in the Chicago Cubs baseball team. In 1919, Wrigley bought Catalina Island off the coast of California. He built a baseball field there. The Chicago Cubs sometimes used this field for practice. Wrigley spent a lot of money improving Catalina Island. He paid to build roads, hotels, and water pipes. He also bought 2 large ships. He sold tickets so people could visit the island. He built the Wrigley Building in Chicago in 1920. Cubs Park was renamed Wrigley Field in his honor in 1926. Wrigley passed away in Phoenix, Arizona at the age of 70 in 1932. More information. Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field is a stadium in Chicago, Illinois. It is the ballpark of Major League Baseball's Chicago Cubs. It is the second oldest in Major League Baseball after Boston's Fenway Park. Distinctive features include an ivy-covered brick outfield wall, the red marquee over the main entrance, and the hand-turned scoreboard. From 1921 to 1970, Wrigley Field also hosted the Chicago Bears of the National Football League. Wrigley Building. The Wrigley Building is a skyscraper located at North Michigan Avenue on Chicago's near north side. It is located on the Magnificent Mile directly across from the Tribune Tower. It was built from 1920 to 1921 and opened in 1924. Its bright white facade is covered in terracotta. William Wrigley Jr. Summer Cottage. The Wrigley Cottage is located on Santa Catalina Island, one of the Channel Islands of California, and was built from 1919 to 1921 as a summer retreat for Wrigley and his wife. It was designed by architect Zachary Taylor Davis in the Georgian colonial revival style. Thank you for watching. 谢谢观看。